Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alexa, and today we are going to be picking out my March TBR. So since St. Patrick's Day is in March, I thought it would be fun to pick my TBR with clovers. We have two different types of clovers here. So the 4-leaf clovers are the lucky prompts. Pretty standard, regular TBR prompts. I also wrote down some favorite authors and a couple of other random desirable prompts. And these are the other TBR clovers. They are 3-leaf clovers, so they are going to be the unlucky prompts. So I'm going to throw all of the TBR clovers into this bowl, which is coincidentally green. I have no idea how that happened. It just worked out so perfectly. Per usual, I am going to add 6 books to my TBR, and then I am also going to add Jenna's book club pick for the month onto my TBR as well. But at the time I'm filming this, I don't know what it is yet, so if I do know what it is by the time I am editing this, I will put it on the screen. Let's pick out the first prompt. All right, the first one is a book from my 25 books that I want to read in 2025 at TBR. Okay, I think I already know what book I want to pick for this prompt, and it is The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. One of my favorite books ever is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which is also by this author, but I have not read any other books by that author, and I've really been wanting to, but for whatever reason, I just haven't. So this book feels like it has some pretty good potential. This book is basically following a grumpy bookstore owner, and he is going through it. His wife has just passed away, his bookstore is failing miserably, and a rare first edition book has been stolen from him. But then a 2-year-old named Maya is left on his doorstep, and there is a note attached to her asking him to look after her. And so it's basically just following that story and what happens. I'm really looking forward to reading this book, so this is going to be the first book on my March TBR. Let's pick out the second prompt. My unlucky prompt says non-reader picks a book for you. So this one is a little bit difficult because I've pretty much converted everybody in my life into a reader, but I'm pretty sure that my brother isn't super into reading, so I'm gonna text him. Pick a book off of my shelf for me, please. Thank you. All right, we'll see what he says. For now, we will move on to prompt number 3 until he responds to me. All right, we got boyfriend picks, which is funny because I just texted my brother to pick a book for me, and now my boyfriend's gonna pick a book for me. He knows that I'm filming right now, so I think he's going to respond quickly. Can you please pick a book for me? Thank you. All right, my boyfriend's pick is in. Okay, he picked The Help by Kathryn Stockett. I'm actually really excited about this book. I feel like a lot of people already know what this book is about, but if you don't, it's basically just following the story of a couple of women facing gender inequality in Mississippi in 1962. This is also a movie, which is cool. I got this specific copy of The Help from a little free library, and I can tell that it's definitely a bit of an older edition because the price of the book on the dust jacket flap says $24.95, and I just looked up how much this book costs, and it costs $35. So this is going to be the next book on my March TBR. And my brother just responded to me, and he chose The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. I have no idea what this is about. Fi abides by one rule: look after your own. As the future chieftain of a shunned caste of mercy killers, she relies on her own wits and bone magic drawn from the teeth of dead witches to protect her band. The crows take more abuse than coin, so when they're called to protect the royal dead, Fi hopes that they'll find the payout of a lifetime. When Fi discovers that Crown Prince Jazimir and his crafty bodyguard Tavin have faked their deaths to escape the ruthless queen Rusanna, she's ready to cut her losses and perhaps their throats. But Jazz offers a deal that she can't refuse: make sure he lives to see the throne, and he'll protect the crows when he reigns. To outrun and outwit the queen, the trio forge an uneasy alliance that is soon tested by old secrets, shifting allegiances, and forbidden feelings. As Rusanna and her band of deadly trackers loom even closer, the 3 fugitives must discover what they're each willing to sacrifice to save their own. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this sounds a bit confusing, but we're gonna give it a shot. time to pick the fourth prompt. All right, we got free pick. What do I want to pick? Okay, I brought over two books that have been in the forefront of my mind lately. The first one is The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks. I don't know why, but I've kind of been in the mood to read a Nicholas Sparks book lately, so this one seemed interesting enough. Did I also get this one when I got The Help? I think I did. So this book follows Logan, and he is serving in Iraq, and while he is there, he finds a photo of a woman buried in the dirt. He keeps the photo with him, and then a bunch of lucky things keep happening to him, so him and his friend decide that the photo is now Logan's lucky charm. Once Logan comes home from Iraq, he cannot get the woman in the photo out of his head, so he sets out on a journey to find her. His search leads him to a divorced woman with a son in North Carolina. Her name is Elizabeth, and as they begin to fall in love, Logan decides to keep the photo a secret from her. But that secret may end up being the thing that tears them apart and ruins their lives. This is also a movie. I feel like Nicholas Sparks is like the OG of getting his books made into movies. I feel like so many of his books are movies, and they have been since I was a young kid. So good for him. And the next book that I brought over is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is pretty much a romance book about two individuals who have very gripping addictions and how that interferes with or fuels their love for each other. I think I am remembering correctly that I got this book on the same little free library trip that I got The Help on. I will link that video in the description if you guys want to watch it, but I feel like it is a sign that I should pick this book, so we are going to add The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks onto my March TBR. Let's pick out the fifth prompt. Okay, we got middle grade book. I don't have very many middle grade books, but I did just recently thrift The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This is the sweetest, most heartfelt movie I have seen in ages. And of course, it was a book first, so I would love to read it. It's basically about a robot named Roz who wakes up on a remote island with no idea where she is or how she got there. She pretty much has to adapt to the environment to survive in the wilderness, and she slowly but surely befriends the animals on the island, and you kind of learn more about who she is and why she's there. Like I said, I absolutely loved this movie, so I'm sure that I'm gonna love this book. So this will be the fifth book on my March TBR. It is time to pick out the final prompt. All right, we got another unlucky one, and it says choose one of 5 of your lowest rated books on your want to read list on Goodreads. These are the 5 lowest rated books on my want to read list on Goodreads. We have The Finalists by David Bell, Leave the World Behind by Ruman Alam, The Dinner by Herman Koch, Never by Jessa Hastings, and Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. I am so interested why everybody seems to hate this book by Jessa Hastings, but love her Magnolia Park series. It's like I want to read it because I want to know why people don't like it, but I also don't want to read it because I don't want to be one of the people that doesn't like it, because I want to remain in a world where I have nothing negative to say about Jessa Hastings books. So I just don't know if I'm ready to read that one just yet. As for Star Daughter, I know absolutely nothing about this book. It is a YA fantasy that I assume follows a girl who has some sort of sky astrological star-like powers. This one isn't particularly calling to me. These 2 books I both got in my Etsy mystery book box unboxing. If you guys want to see that, I will also link it in the description for you. I'm pretty surprised to learn that these are 2 of the lowest rated books on my want to read list on Goodreads. Whenever I read what these were about, I thought they sounded pretty interesting, so I don't know. I believe this one is also a movie. This one is kind of like a suspense novel about some strangers who get trapped in an apartment together in New York City during a huge power outage. They have to decide if they're going to trust each other, and the inside of the jacket says, this remarkable novel takes on some of the hardest questions of our time about class, race, and who we become in moments of growing uncertainty. This book is about 2 families having dinner together, and they learn that their sons are more alike than different. There's some kind of police investigation going on, and it's kind of about the parents and how they want to protect each of their sons. And I think the entire book takes place over the course of one dinner, which sounded like a fun and interesting concept to me. And the final and lowest rated book on my want to read on Goodreads is The Finalists by David Bell. This is about 6 college students with nothing in common besides a desperate inability to pay for school, and they're all competing for the prestigious Hyde Scholarship. The doors are locked behind them and they are not allowed to leave until they spend 8 hours with a college administrator who will do anything to keep the school afloat. If the students leave before their time is up, they will automatically be disqualified, but one of the students ends up dead. There is a violent protest raging outside and there is no way for them to escape, so the survivors viciously turn on one another. We have Milo, the front runner, Natalia, the brain, James, the rule follower, Sydney, the athlete, Duffy, the cowboy, and Emily, the social justice warrior. This is a book that I got from Dollar Tree. I will link the video where I shop for this book in the description if you guys want to watch it. But I feel like since this is the most authentically lowest rated book on my want to read list on Goodreads, that we have to pick it. I would also love to do another Dollar Tree reading vlog. So if I end up getting to this book in March, it will most definitely be in a Dollar Tree reading vlog. And that is going to be the final book on my March TBR. I got a couple of unlucky prompts, but I think it still turned out to be a pretty good looking TBR. Just to quickly recap, we have The Storied Life of AJ Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin, The Help by Kathryn Stockett, The Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen, The Lucky One by Nicholas Sparks, The Wild Robot by Peter Brown, and The Finalists by David Bell. That is going to be all for today's video. If you guys liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know anything you want to let me know. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram and make sure that you are subscribed so that you can see more videos from me in the future. But for now, that is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. A long time ago. Whoa. By who is this by? Series.